Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the podcast. We ended it after an hour just because we thought it'd be easier, and then we'll just do another episode, and then at the end of it, we'll just make them at the video so everyone can watch them at their most convenience. We're gonna probably get a couple episodes done today, because then it makes up for basically the loss of episodes we've missed not putting on our channel. So we're prepared. We're here for the most of the night, hopefully. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
So we'll get as many episodes as we can out, because to be fair, the first 3 episodes, in my opinion, is probably going to be the same topic but more in depth. And then after that, we'll probably progress maybe halfway to episode 2, we'll progress into something else. But I hope you like this concept. It's something new that we're doing. We have streamed before, but please hit the like and subscribe button if you liked it and enjoyed it. And
the picture I sent you.
What, another one? Oh no, I'm not using that. I'm using episode 2, man. But before we go, let's get on with the topic. Woo! Okay. Welcome guys, I'm Tropical Zombie, and this is your pal Akatau72. How are you doing this fine evening, buddy, or day?
I mean, we already did this, but I'm doing fine.
Good. Well, no, when the episodes actually go out, they'll be not on the same day. I'm just bulking it so we have some fucking videos.
True.
Yeah. Don't forget, guys, my merch is in the description, or will be in the description of the YouTube channel. I'll put it in chat for everybody to see. Please check it out and support me. I'd appreciate it. I've worked a bit hard on it. I'm wearing one of my merches from Streamlabs, and it's quite nice quality. It's actually really comfy. I've been wearing it, and it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a t-shirt. But yeah, please check the other videos out.
That might help.
No, because I look fat.
That might help.
I look fat.
What the fuck?
Anyway, let's get back onto the topics. Woo! Last episode.
Welcome you back during the clip.
Yeah, last episode we were talking about technology and how it is, and because it's such a big conversation piece.
And we're being pessimistic about the benefits of technology.
Yeah, I decided I wanted to put it into 2 episodes. Because then it pretty much means we've covered it, you know what I mean? And then the 3rd episode will be something different, or towards the end of the 2nd episode it'll be different, but yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but because this is such a strong topic we're both discussing, to be fair, it's something that's true and that's happening nowadays in the world. And not a lot of people actually recognise it. So if you haven't seen the 1st episode, I would highly recommend you check it out before watching this one. But all of these episodes will be available on the YouTube.
We're talking about.
Yeah. But going back into it though, Thomas, my theory's still there. Like, what I was telling you in the 1st episode, when about the hackers and stuff, like the Great Hack. Imagine that, but like I was saying at the end of the episode 1, sorry, near the end of it, if we do start developing robots on mass production without knowing the consequences of having them, it could essentially, in the wrong hands, it could make like blowing cities up, taking over cities very easy.
I mean, yeah, we have movies and TV shows, and
you would think people would learn from watching the movies and stuff, like, don't do the shite. I just realised, Thomas,
people are stupid, and history is bound to repeat itself.
Exactly.
Unless people learn.
You gotta give me credit for one thing, Thomas. On the 1st episode, I didn't swear that much.
Processing.
No, you know what I mean? It's true, though. I didn't actually swear that much.
I did.
Yeah, you did. That makes a difference, so usually I'm the one that swears. But no, yeah. Anyway, back to topic. I still believe the world isn't prepared for what they're doing.
Mhm.
But it's true. Nobody knows the side effects of all this stuff. Look at iRobot with Will Smith in. They were meant to be there to help people, but fucking hell, it destroyed. It's destroying people.
I mean, yeah, that's the concept of Terminator 2.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think.
Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know if I'm just being very judgmental because I've obviously grown up and known what I've seen and all that kind of stuff, but
I mean, that's what everyone is like.
yeah.
Back in my day.
Well, think about the US government. Imagine if they had access to robots.
Which I mean, they kind of do.
No, like proper robots.
Well, yeah, I mean, like weapons of
Massed.
like it's well, not like weapons of mass destruction, because I mean those are basically nuclear weapons. But a single one-man army in a robot, that's scary.
Hey, it could bring out my book that we wrote, remember, could come true.
Fucking, that was all about Nazis, you moron.
There's still Nazis in this world.
I mean, yeah, but not to that extent.
Oh yeah, well Hitler's not alive, so that's okay. If you're a descendant of Hitler and you're a very nice person, I apologise in advance. Otherwise, you can go kill yourself. Not literal though. I wouldn't endorse that.
Okay, no.
I wouldn't endorse that. Yeah, but
anyway,
like,
I mean,
I worry because at the minute, it was actually on the news recently about the terrorists. There's a lot of terrorist attacks going on. Still. Imagine if they start getting access to, like, the technology side. At the minute, they're not really using much technology.
well, gee, now that you fucking jinxed it.
I know, fucking hell, I'm gonna have fucking NCA, fucking NSA, fucking CIA, FBI.
Pin everything on you.
Everyone's just gonna come at me now. Anti-theft crime, police.
He mentioned it.
Yeah, everyone's just gonna come at me. Yeah, everyone.
It's his fault.
But no, like,
But no.
that is a serious thing.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, the next topic is, because obviously this is still related to the technology, is terrorism. Because it's actually happening quite a lot recently, yeah.
Is that next on the list?
Yeah. I've got a different list to what you have.
Oh, okay.
I should really write them in the list that we both can see. But we improvise. I haven't actually added this to any list yet, but no. This is a good topic though, because it's actually in the news at the minute about terrorism.
Mhm.
And I think I feel I don't know. It's how do I put it without, like, I feel sorry for people. Let's put it that way. You know, like, the religions that get criticised for the terrorist attacks who may or may not doing anything of it.
Mhm.
I feel sorry for them.
Mhm.
And I think that's the issue that I have. It affects way too many people. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What did you do?
I don't want to talk about it. There we go, I fixed it.
Did you spill something?
No, I broke my tab. I fixed it though. Basically,
Okay.
I feel like you've got Muslims, Islam, yeah, and all that people, yeah? Yeah, shut up.
I mean,
I know it didn't sound
you
well.
want me to correct you?
No, please. I knew what I meant, but I did say it right. I just empathized the M a lot longer, yeah. But, like, my point is, like, regardless of any of that crap, right? It gives the religion that are the ones that are peaceful and nice and kind are getting a very bad reputation.
Mhm.
And that's the thing that is a problem because at the minute, I'm on a web. I'm just looking at the website, right? I know I do that, and terrorism isn't just like terror. Okay, I know terrorists are like terrorists, but at the minute, like a certain religions. Look at Muslims or the ones I don't know what the ones that the ones that put the females that wear the
so bad about out of context.
Yeah, well, for example, Muslims are a good example actually.
Let's put it in perspective.
Well,
there
no.
Are people. Let me try to put it in perspective so that way it doesn't sound as bad.
Yeah.
People can be so set in their beliefs, be it whatever religion, uprising, upbringing. I mean, or how they were raised. People can be so set in their beliefs that they are willing to kill for what they believe.
Yeah.
For example, like I'm not sure if you actually heard about it, but there was actually a shooting in El Paso.
Yeah, it was on the news.
Yeah, there was a shooting in El Paso, like not that long ago, and this guy was really discriminatory against like the people he killed.
Yeah.
He was really discriminating against the people he killed, and like I'm not sure. I think this is what Trump called it or something, like an act of domestic terrorism. I'm not saying like. I'm not saying like the thing is that I watched this little thing on the news on one of the news channels that it was easy to like blame it all on what's been going on with like politics and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
People are so set in their ways that they are willing to kill for it.
Well,
be it whether you're Islamic or whether you're Christian or you're Jewish or you're like whatever, whether you believe in Santa Claus or fucking.
Well, my
Jesus
point was it's not just that. It's like I was using Muslims as an example. Some people like when the terrorist thing started, big things, and it was like some of them were like Muslim related. I'm not like saying as a whole, Muslims are bad. I'm never ever gonna say that. I'm not racist like that.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
like,
I'm not saying that either.
Yeah, but it made people look at people like whose religion were Muslims or wore this, I don't know what it's called, the women wear to stop people seeing the hair and stuff. It made that very thing, because I think it was in the news years ago, right? It was like someone got accused of being a terrorist, but they weren't even a terrorist. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And I think, why are we giving terrorists form because of a reason? And at the minute, I'm not being racist to Americans or anything, but at the minute, it's a lot to do with Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I think terrorists, you've got groups, you've got people that believe in freedom, and then people that believe in just killing people.
Well, here's the thing. It kind of ties back to what I'm trying to say. Like people will kill and fight to the death for their beliefs, and so they can like kind of quote unquote prove they're right.
Yeah, but killing's not going to prove anything. Like, you could kill people.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like some people are so radical that they are willing to kill others who do not.
Well, for example, in America, gang wars, right? In America, gang wars, right? Mm-hmm. It's something as stupid as gang wars, and I believe that is ridiculous. Killing someone for looking at you, or maybe a different shade of colour, or different race, or different nationality, or different religion. Excuse my French for this, but what the fuck is the point in all that? Humans are precious. That is just true. Humans now, we are precious. If it wasn't for humans having babies, this world would not be a world. And I think people take it as like a God-given right that you're alive. But you've seen how quickly some people can just die. Like, but it's not even that. Some people go to like if someone's mother's died, right, and it was like hospitals didn't do enough, they didn't believe hospitals didn't do enough, or whatever, they could then turn on the hospital and try and blow them up. And I think a lot of them is grief and stubbornness because they think they're right about something, and it turns out they're not actually right, but they're willing to put millions and millions of people's lives at risk to essentially say, look at me, I've got your attention now.
Yeah.
That's all terrorism probably is. It's all about... They do it to get... They don't just... Well, no, they do it in a sense to get people's attention.
In some aspects, yes.
Well, no, that's the sense of it. To prove a point.
Yeah, like that is part of it, yes. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying like that's part of it.
No God, and if I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up if there's proof, but there's no God or higher power in the world
that's telling people to kill others.
Well, yeah, if you look in the Bible, it like if you're a stubborn Christian who actually follows the Bible and everything word and word, it even states you forgive your enemies, because that's what your religion is. And I don't believe a religion is formed to cause mayhem and havoc over people, because that ain't. I don't believe that's right.
They're slightly different.
But yeah, it's like disabilities. People judge people on their disability because someone might look different, and I believe that's just bullshit.
Like, one thing that I am actually guilty of, that I will admit. And I mean, many other people are guilty of this as well, but I am actually, like, I'm not entirely prejudiced. I'm just more concerned about whenever I see someone who's like physically disabled or like and mentally disabled, because like I'm not sure what to do around them.
Well, you're all right with me.
I have like legitimate fears of like things going wrong for them and me.
Well,
I'm not discriminating against people who are actually physically and mentally handicapped.
What makes...
I'm just scared.
Why are you... If you see someone that's handicapped, what makes you scared for it?
Well, for example, there was a kid who went to my school who was, I'm not going to say names, but he was both schizophrenic and had cerebral palsy. And so with his cerebral palsy, he wasn't able to walk right, and he kept on doing all these weird movements that I didn't understand what they were for. Like sometimes he would just keep on rocking back and forth for no other reason when he's trying to listen to like a lesson or something. Like he would just move back and forth in his chair for absolutely no reason. And like the thing is that and then to add on to that, he would talk to people who weren't there, and he'd tell us, like the people around him, who they were. I even passed by his class one time, and he was standing outside the class, and he was actually talking to someone that was not there. I was like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, no, I'm not. This person's trying to talk to me. And it's like, okay. So I'm like, okay, all right. And I just walked away like, what the fuck just happened? Because I don't want to say anything wrong and anger him.
Yeah, but if that's what you're saying, you could, at the same time, you could argue you do that though, because when you're playing a video game, you talk to yourself sometimes. You see what I mean?
I mean, my sister who is a doctor, says I have some forms of schizophrenia. But I'm not like to the point where I talk to people who are not there. I talk to myself as if like, oh, what am I gonna do now? It's me thinking out loud.
I know, but like, in terms of that, everyone has people, but you've got to remember though as well, like if you're getting, like you're cautious around people that are handicapped or do that, you got to think in terms of imagine pitching yourself in their shoes. You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, I've seen people like actually fully handicapped where like their neck is like to their fucking side, paraplegic, cannot move or talk, and like I'm fascinated that like they actually are like this, but at the same time I'm scared and like I'm a bundle of emotions of just because I don't know what to make of a person like that. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm fascinated. I don't know.
if that's how you're feeling, though, think about it, though. If you're handicapped and you've got problems, but think,
I would totally
not like that. It's not just that. It's like,
yeah.
if you see someone in school that may or may not be able to walk, for example, who's in a wheelchair, and you just totally just ignore them, disregard them, because you're cautious about them. That's you got to think as well on the personality and the side of it. How do you think that makes them feel? Because, okay, maybe at the minute now, like, people with disabilities, it's starting to become more acceptance. It's like people who are gay, bi, straight, and lesbian. It's starting to become more acceptance. But then you got to think, at the end of the day, they're a human being, regardless of their conditions.
Regardless of anyone's conditions, they're still human.
Well, it's not, but it's like you shouldn't change an opinion about someone. Well, yeah, that's a really good saying. Look at me, for example. I'm mentally insane. But yet, you're fine around me.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
That'll be a different topic, guys. We'll get into that later.
But you get what I mean? It's like that. It's like... and it fell off my chair. I understand where you're coming from, but, like, as someone, for me, who knows people like that, it's like... I'm going to put this out there straight away. I don't condone racism, disabilityism, people being racist or being horrible to people with disabilities, because in my eyes, everyone is... you treat someone how you want to be treated. So if you treat someone with caution in that kind of aspect, you're going to get that back to yourself, and I believe highly in karma. Okay, I probably won't have the best karma.
And I potentially have been treated like that. But...
I know, but Tom, it's like for example, if I was how I am and I started treating you different, you wouldn't like it, would you? You'd probably get pissed off and shite like that. But then at the same aspect, it's like, for example, online, right? You could talk to someone, become really good pals with them, but then meet them and they could be handicapped. And it's like, then what? Are you going to become cautious of them?
No. That's not what I mean. Like, I just don't want to sound so incredibly bad.
But then you got to think, though, Thomas.
I'm not
you've got to think how they became handicapped. They could have been in car accidents.
Oh no, yeah. I'm not talking about people who are in handicap, but I'm talking about like the people, like, who are born that way.
What's wrong with that? They get bullied because of it. You got to think.
And, like, that's actually something that I'm really concerned about. Like, in our general society as well, like bullying. But that's another topic. We'll get into that. Like,
no. This is the easiest way to describe it, right? You're saying, without sounding mean and shitey like that, you're cautious around people who are handicapped with medical problems, who mentally probably aren't all there. But then look at the other side of it as well. Some people develop certain mental problems because, one, if they're handicapped, they could be bullied, and then if they may not have any friends, so talking to themselves is the way of keeping them kind of sane.
Yeah.
And it's like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You don't judge a book by its cover. if you went up to them,
Mm-hmm.
you know what it is. They'll probably be more happy that you're talking to them as a proper person than them as a handicap.
Yeah.
Because you know
I mean,
it's
I
it's.
actually talked to this kid who was at my school. I talked.
I know,
Like, I was like generally
but you,
okay with him.
but you get what I mean though. It's like that's what it's not just you. It's anyone in the society who are like that. It's a massive part like that, and I believe that's not fair. You don't treat someone because maybe they don't have an arm or they don't have a leg or they've got 4 fingers or whatever. Well, 3 fingers and a thumb. You don't judge them any differently. You know, we both know someone who we're not going to name any names, who has problems. You know who the person is who doesn't like me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't judge that person any different. I know I'm weird.
No.
But that's the thing, like, it's not fair. It's like gay, lesbians. Okay, back in the day, you could die, you could get killed for it. But it's like,
Oh yeah.
it's the same. But like, they made a lot of thing about this, like with people being sexist and all that kind of stuff. But there's not much about people with disabilities, and I think that's a topic that people should maybe get more educated on. At the end of the day, they're human. They've got a heart, a liver, 2 kidneys. You know what I mean, and all that. They're still human.
Yeah.
And you got to think, if that's how people are acting around them, how do you think that makes them feel? Because if you're, let's be honest, if you're handicapped and you say you enjoyed football, you couldn't go play football properly with your friends because, you just know you wouldn't be able to do it. But having a group of friends around you who doesn't care, who there, supports them or help them, probably helps them a lot more than you think because it boosts their confidence. It boosts their self-esteem. You know what I mean? It just makes them feel normal because a lot of people label it as, oh, he's disabled, he's special, he's not normal. And I think that there is a reason to...
I mean, I'm not saying I'm like that in general. I'm saying I am guilty of being like that.
I know, but then consequences is you've been treated like that.
I am being treated... I
Yeah.
am being treated like that. Yes, I understand.
And it's like my saying, what comes around goes around.
What goes around comes around, yeah.
Yeah, what goes around comes around. So if you treat someone like shit, if you treat someone like shit, you're gonna get back. It's just or it's like you see it in like movies. So people that like literally are horrible to people that are disability, and then some point in their lives that actually happens to them.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's like, just be careful what you wish for. You're wishing to treat someone like shit, so you're gonna the consequences of that is you're gonna
People
get that.
will wish to treat you like shit. Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. God works in mysterious ways, so you're gonna get what you've been doing to people back to you.
Yeah.
And that's also it's the same with anything. It's like religion and all that. People are cautious about certain religions, and that's not fair. You treat everybody the same.
Yeah, and like that's actually like that. I entirely believe with. I entirely believe. People need, like I say this all the time. The people who are both conservative and liberal in politics, in religion, whatever. People need to put aside their differences and look for what we all are. We are a people. We are a species.
Yeah.
We are human.
Well, that's it.
We're all human. And that's the thing, like...
And to be fair, once you get to know somebody, you slowly find out they're not as bad as you think. And that's the truth, like, you could be scared to talk to someone because of their religion, the way they are, or whatever. But they could be the sweetest, nicest person ever. Yeah. And you got to remember, like you're saying, like people who are born with a disability. You may have parents that may not have had any disability on them, but it could be in the genetics. And a lot of people And the thing with that is as well, though, a lot of people bully them because of it, but then the repercussions of bullying that, for example, kid who's handicapped, right, is they could end their own life. And then when is that when you say that's enough? That's when it's done. It's enough when they're no longer breathing.
Yeah.
And I think in the society, that's sometimes where people go, oh crap, oh shit, I shouldn't do that. But is that the level of how far it needs to be before you think, oh shit, I should never have done that. It's like when I went and talked about if someone killed themselves the next day, all them people who didn't talk to that person or spoke to them or whatever,
or hurt them,
yeah, all go to that funeral saying he was a good person, he was my best friend, when you never spoke to him when they were alive. It's like you don't know what you miss until they're gone. You know what I mean?
You don't know what's good until it's gone, yeah.
Well, it's not just that. You don't know what you've missed until it's gone as well.
Yeah. Hang on, someone's banging on my door real quick.
And I think, guys, that's like the level of concern there. Because, don't judge everything. That is ridiculous. Yeah. You know what it is? Oh, yeah. You judge how you want people. You judge what you want, right? You do that, right? But don't ask for sympathy. Don't ask for anything in return. Because if the moment you start treating someone like garbage, and then you expect like money, anything, you won't get it because you're going to get treated the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, it's like, it's one of them things where it is a touchy subject, and it's one of them things where people are judged upon many times, and I think just stop it. It's the same with terrorism. A lot of it's to do with religion, with terrorism, and all that.
Religion, beliefs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But if everyone got along in the world, it would just be a perfect world. But unfortunately, we don't live in a society when that, because all it takes is to someone go on social media and put like, oh, this guy's such and blah, blah, blah. And then it goes viral, it goes to the world, and then that's it. That person's life's ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And I think is that what we've become to with the day and age? To take another human's life without physically having the blood on your hands.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're a coward. If you're willing to kill someone over something stupid, and you're willing to do that, or, put them to that point where they're no longer living, and you still can sleep at night and wake up feeling fine, then you yourself need to be checked out. Or if you still believe what you've done is correct, that's where you need to question your beliefs in your life. Like, I'm sorry, but I would never, and this is me being honest, I would never wish on anybody death or misery, even to my worst, my enemies. I would never wish anything upon them, because it's not right and it's not fair. But I can guarantee there's people wishing, for example, people probably wish you were dead or wish bad things upon you. The same with me. It's that thing, and it's like, I think that's where problems will mix and stare in your head, thinking, it's like if someone told you every single day, every hour, to kill yourself, eventually you're probably going to do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or not even that, if someone messages you constantly and tells you you're worthless, you're a piece of shit, you're garbage, because the reality that is, well, that's for episode 3, depression, all that's for episode 3. But just to touch on it a little bit with that is when people are depressed, that's how people feel themselves.
Because they start to actually believe it.
Yeah, but we won't get into that because that'll be for next episode. But like I'm saying though, so that's why I'm saying like social media at this point now is getting to the point where they can hide behind a screen and a keyboard or a phone and do what they want. There's no boundaries.
Yeah.
And I think, like, look at, for example, YouTube. People get away with so much on YouTube. And you gotta remember, like, a lot of YouTubers that have been called out as pedophiles or whatever have got a massive fan base, and a majority of their fan base is probably kids. And I think that there is sad, really sad, and I feel sorry for anybody. But what do you do? What can you do to stop people? You know what I mean? Doing anything like that? But it's like a lot of people who went to war, who's been in the army, get a lot of grief and crap for it. I don't know, it's just this world's to a point where I just feel sorry for everybody. Anyway, that's for another episode. It would be cool having robots though. Well, think about it, you could do in movies, you could actually stab a robot and CGI as a person.
Yeah.
Just make sure the robot doesn't come out of life and fucking stab you.
That's a bet.
Yeah, just make sure you don't get a cocky robot. I wonder how video games would go though.
What with?
Yeah, I feel like
I
feel like there'd be a lot more video games with robots in it.
Virtual dimensions. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you'd probably need like.
Oh my god, there'd be a new category on porn called fucking robot porn. Oh, that's just so weird.
There's probably already shit like that, but let's not talk about that.
I'm not even gonna search it up. No.
Yeah, don't you dare.
Man, I'm scared to see what I find.
Don't look it up then.
I'm not gonna.
What?
I'm just saying I would be scared to see what I find. So.
But anyway, moving on.
What did I watch the other day?
Can we move on to a new subject? This kind of got dark, depressing. Back to robots. It's fucking confusing.
We're till season 3, episode 3.
Well, we're just gonna end the podcast now.
No. I'm not that.
For fuck's sake, man, make up your mind.
Imagine if we made a movie.
On what? Well, just us talking.
Story of our life. Boring shit.
Yeah, that's the name of this fucking movie.
That could be our book, Boring and Shit.
Boring shit, the story of our lives.
There'd literally be a caution label on it. Warning, reading this may make you feel depressed, sleepy, and hating yourself or us.
Hating yourself or us.
No. To be fair, you're looking nowadays, you could literally write a book on anything and people just buy it.
I mean, I actually met...
Oh my god, who did you meet? Oh my god, who did you meet? Who did you meet? Who did you fucking meet?
His name is Mark Goldstein. He's the author of a fairly recent book.
Okay, cool.
He gave me his information card, and he's actually kind of a semi-regular at my store.
Okay, and?
I mean, I could get advice on him on how we could write a book like that.
Could we get him in a podcast?
I highly doubt it.
Just say you'll give him some freebies at work. It's enough to make anybody your best friend.
I can't do that though. I can't just. I mean, I work at a grocery store. I can't like actually just have him pull up with like a huge cart of stuff and you gotta go. It's free. I'd be fired on the spot.
See, you say that. I used to do that for Subway. I used to give people free stuff. Like, all the time.
I don't know. It's a bit different, though.
If you're watching Subway, I apologize. It wasn't me.
Like, past coworkers. Wait, what?
Yeah. Please don't quote me on this in a court of law. I will deny all acknowledgement of ever seeing that. I have memory problems. I forget very quickly.
Shut up.
Speaking of that, though, about a couple of years ago... Just go back to something.
Shut up.
Yeah, and then just go back to something that happened like 4 years ago. And like, oh yeah, my memory's very bad. I forget very quickly. Well, 4 years ago, this happened.
But anyway, let's continue.
Continue what? Criminating myself in some way.
Like,
I was on TV the other day. Obesity's a big thing.
It's a bit of an understatement, don't you think?
Apparently you can get a black version of McDonald's. I only know that because I'm looking on Facebook.
Okay, here it is. I actually found the book. Like, I actually found the book that this guy is the author of.
Okay.
Like, originally... Like, this guy... Wow, he actually has some good damn reviews. This book has some good reviews. I ought to get it from my mother. Like, this guy who I met, and I guess it's maybe a little bit of publicity for him. I do apologize if things get a bit out of hand. But I think that by doing something like writing a book is something extremely phenomenal. That's an achievement all on its own. Like, you can actually look up his book on Amazon, too.
Okay.
You want to look it up? No. Wait, what's your name?
You don't know my name? Did you just fucking forget my name?
I don't know. I just had a brain fart. Shut up. Don't judge me.
Wow.
Anyway, you can look up his book on Amazon and yeah, it's actually I haven't personally read it myself, but I heard it's actually pretty good.
I'm just watching something. You know Iron Man? You know Robert Downey Jr., who played Iron Man?
Yeah, who doesn't?
He wasn't actually meant to play Iron Man.
Who was he meant to play?
No, he wasn't. When he went, he had to beg them to let him play the role. Because of his past. Well, yeah, because of his past doing drugs and alcohol and being arrested.
Really?
Yeah, the studios weren't sure about him until one of their, I don't know, like one of the people that they worked with convinced them to give him a chance.
Oh, okay.
But ever since then, Marvel's got to where they are because of Robert Downey Jr. You know that.
Okay.
Well, think about it. Could have went two ways. Marvel's really popular because of the Iron Man movies and all that, and like Avengers and essentially that's how it's popular properly. Spider-Man wasn't doing shit for it. But
I mean, yeah, because Sony. So.
yeah,
No
but
offense.
yeah, but if they didn't cast Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, they probably wouldn't be as big as they are now.
True, because I mean, Iron Man was the movie that started it all.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it was because Robert Jr. fitted the part that well.
Yeah, he fit it really really well. Like he did a really good job as playing Tony Stark and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
Wait,
because
how
they
did we get on
gave,
this topic? I'm
because
confused.
I was watching something on Facebook. So basically, so Marvel giving Robert Downey the chance to play a part has made them millions. It's because Marvel honored Robert Downey Jr. He was honored by Marvel. Like, is to say, this is 10 years ago. He played them. That's it's perfect. Don't judge someone from their past. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that's like the perfect representation. Fucking hell. Sorry, I know I took over your moment there, whatever you were talking about.
I was talking about the guy
book.
who I met who's an author and everything.
Exactly.
Technically, I met 2 authors, but that's a different story for the second one.
Technically, you met 3 authors.
Yes, I've met 2 authors.
Yeah,
One
me.
actually gave me one of his own personal copies of his book.
Oh, was he trying to get discount?
No, this was in junior year of high school. What are you talking about?
I don't know what I was even saying.
I didn't even work back then. All I did was work on homework. The only work I did was in school.
Oh yeah, guys,
look,
me and
anyway,
Thomas are trying to write a book as well.
Quote unquote, right.
But we keep clashing.
Trying to
yeah,
write.
we keep clashing because we both have imaginations and we both just are lazy fuckers.
Yeah, I actually have this guy's book right here.
Okay.
Like, what he said was, all the best, fortune, now and always. Yeah. Like, this was his personal first copy, like one of his very first copies that he's able to get, like by just asking the publisher.
Sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I had a fart moment. Outside of America.
Over it. Anyway, I don't know if have you ever heard of this book? It's about it's kind of like the evolution of video games and stuff. It's called Blood, Plagues, and Endless Rage. Are you listening?
Yes.
No, you're not.
I am. I'm just dying. The east side of America.
Anyway,
sorry, this song just let me just listen to this song for a moment. I like.
I'm about to take this book and like
please
hit
do
over and over.
Well, that's. This one lies in the fairy
I will
tale,
leave.
and we can pick sides, but this is.
Leave you alone.
Well. Alright, guys, I am looking for what is it?
What?
Oh yeah, someone to do some graphic stuff for me.
We say what now?
Aye. When me and Thomas eventually get the arse and can be bothered for me to come to America, we'll be doing vlogs every day. I will
We potentially could, yeah.
I will be tormenting the shit out of you.
And I'll still be beating the crap out of you because I'm taller.
Just means you're harder to make you fall. No, it's easier to make you fall. Just knock you down.
Shut the fuck up with that fucking saying.
The taller you are, the easier you fall.
It's the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Get it right.
I'm not calling you fat, I'm calling you fucking tall.
Fuck's sake. Whatever. Anyway.
Whatever!
But I was trying to say, like, the impact that these two authors have had on me.
Mm-hmm. And what was the
Like,
impact?
for example, this... Well, I mean, they give me the drive, the purpose of becoming a writer. The problem
He wants to have sex
is
with
that,
him to get all the
recently
money.
I'm about to leave
Wow!
and leave you in your own podcast alone, unable to entertain anyone because you're not talking to anyone.
I'm listening to you.
You left
Shut
me
up
that
and
one time.
talk.
Well, stop interrupting then.
Well, fucking talk.
I'm trying to talk.
Well, do it then.
Okay, there's one guy. The author's name is Anthony Palumbi, and he actually gave me his personal copy of his book called Blood, Plagues, and Endless Raids. It's a book about how like World of Warcraft kind of changed the gaming community. Like it talks about like here. I'll read the back real quick. Blood Plagues, and Endless Raids explore this wild, incredibly complex culture partly through the author's engaging personal story, from absolute neophyte to leader of North America's top Spanish-speaking guild, but also through the stories of other players and the game developers. It is a definitive account of one of the world's biggest pop culture phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it even says, Anthony R. Palumbi is the co-author of the critically acclaimed book, The Extreme Life of the Sea, and a writer for the best-selling Sims game.
He wrote Sims.
He's also written he wrote part of the Sims game.
It clearly wasn't that much then. In the Sims game, then. They don't fucking speak English.
And he's also. What? No, I met the guy. He speaks perfect fucking English. What are you talking about?
No, that's not what I meant. I meant in the fucking Sims game.
Whatever. Anyway. He's also written a bunch of stuff. His writing has been published in a bunch of like different newspapers and magazines and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is his personal copy.
And
he actually signed it and gave it to me.
What did he put? Fuck you. Can I have discount?
No, he said to. I told you.
Actually, just put.
To Thomas, all the best fortune, now and always. Anthony Palumbi.
So if you sold that book, you might make money from it.
I'm not gonna sell it. Fuck that.
I'm saying if you were desperate for money, you could probably make money from it.
Well, potentially, but it has my name in it.
Yeah, just find someone that's called Thomas.
I'm gonna fucking hurt you.
You know I'd love that.
Yeah, you masochist.
No, we should try and get him on a podcast.
Anyway.
We can ask him questions about it.
This about the book.
Yeah, you know who I'd love? Is Stephen King still alive?
Oh yeah, Stephen King is alive and well. What are you talking about?
I would love, like, I'm being deadly serious, if I had a chance to, like, Q&A him. Because Stephen King's, like, inspiration for some of the best movies. It's like George Romero, as a director and author and all that. It's like, people like that, they give me the great inspiration. Like, I could write a zombie novel if I really want to do that. Because, like...
They give us the inspiration to do of what we want to become, but the thing is... I guess that of what we're both lacking, as of right now...
People.
Is the motivation to actually pursue it. Like, we have the inspiration, but we don't have the motivation to actually pursue it. Because, I mean, we're on a fucking podcast right now talking about it instead of actually fucking doing it.
That's it.
But anyway, like...
Everybody has...
Exactly.
Well, that's it, yeah, like... Everybody has...
And, like...
The people out there who... they look up to, who inspire them to do what is they do. And I like
Yeah.
that, but then you got to think there's some people out there that who do look up to certain people, and then they change how they are, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard from from Columbi like ever since like junior year of high school. I mean, I met him once. I had a good long talk with him about how I should write, how I should pursue my dream, and he gave me such inspiration for all of it. He made a huge impact on how much I wanted to be an author, and giving me his personal copy of his book, I mean, even pushed me further.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the first time, and like the first time I really, really wanted to be an author was when I found a blank. I saw on a shelf at a bookstore. There was a blank journal with like a little latch lock on it, and it kind of looks like it's something from a medieval era type thing. But I wanted to write in that. It's just something clicked.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like all my aspirations for becoming a YouTuber, I guess, dissipated, and then I just wanted to write. So I did.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's not, my book is not public. Because, I mean, it's totally copyrighted material that I'm writing and I'm trespassing on. Like, it's basically, it's what I told you about before, right, Carl? Like, it's my sequel to Skyrim.
Mhm.
Yeah, my book is like called The Elder Scrolls Dragonborn Rising, and I use my real name too, like as the author's name.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
But like,
I wrote longhand in this book, and I actually filled it out from cover to cover. Granted, there were like 3 pages in the end. I couldn't. That was like really close to filling out, but I couldn't do it because my book was already over.
yeah.
And like I left on a cliffhanger in the book because it was eventually supposed to end up having a sequel. And so, granted, I never got around to it because I like the journal I bought for it had other purposes that I wanted to use it for. So that's a story for another day. And so, technically, these guys have made me want to write more, and I have. I've been like compiling a bunch of short stories and poems that I've been writing into a single document on my on like Google Docs, for example, which is basically like the prime source of where it is. But I just have that inspiration to write, but I mean, as of recently, I just don't have that spark to just write, you know? Like, because I need like a perfect workspace. Just sit down, no distractions, no purpose to go on Netflix, YouTube, or any other type of website that's entertaining. Whatever.
Yeah.
Am I just rambling at this point?
Well, no, you're making valid points as well. It's like,
Yeah.
but
It's
your
just
problem
recently,
is
I
you
haven't
could
had that
never.
inspiration.
Well, it's not just that. Your problem is you could probably never.
I know I can never publish the journal that I wrote. It's not a story about like my life or anything. It's not like a personal
No,
diary.
that's
It's
not
like
what I
an
meant.
actual book.
That's exactly not what I meant. I meant you're at that point where you're probably never going to be able to publish any of it purely because of how do you put it in the right way? It's like
I just don't have the motivation to do it or something.
no, it's not that. It's because it's all copyrighted.
Well, not like there are some. Obviously, there are some stories that are a bit related to some lore that's already like implemented to like say Skyrim for this book, for example, I can never publish that. I know that. People say it's like a fan fiction or something, but I consider this as like a legitimate, actual, reasonable sequel as to what could happen after Skyrim, considering what would happen with your choices in the game.
I know, but you get where my point though. Like I would understand if
I'm
you're.
kind of imposed. I'm like crossing into other people's territory. That I understand. I can never publish that.
If you read something like purely original, thought by you, which people couldn't see, well, that could be from Oz or you know what I mean, anything like that. It's like then it's much better for you because then you've got that freedom to how do I put it in the nicest way, to do what you want.
Yeah.
But
I mean, here, let me pull up my book real quick. I actually have it with me. Well, I don't have it with me. It's on my computer, but anyway. One time I actually printed it out, and it's actually like 50 pages long. I don't know how it became that long. Don't ask me. I mean, I even shared it with you, didn't I? All right.
mhm.
Yeah. No, I don't think I did. Never mind. So yeah,
It's like
my book was at least like.
but that's like anything though. A lot of people use inspiration from other books, but then it's got that point where you can't even publish what your ideas, even if it's similar, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's like it's a bit shitey.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, let me think here.
But it's just that
Like, what?
it's that problem though, isn't it? Like nowadays you can't do anything anymore because of the situations in most places. If you know what it is, back in the day, if copyright was such a big thing for books as it is now, I have a feeling a lot of books probably wouldn't be able to, you know what I mean, have been made as what they are, basically. And I think that's the point I'm getting at. You know what I mean, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Apparently
Like,
I'm playing Black Ops 2 and I'm not even playing Black Ops 2. Okay.
Yeah, I actually wrote the story. Like, granted, I did change the names of everyone involved. But I wrote a short story based on what happened with my very first girlfriend.
Oh my god! Please don't say
I'm not talking about her.
No, please don't say there's a sequel coming about her. Please tell me you're not going to do a sequel and then the one you've had before.
This isn't even going to be a sequel.
Okay,
I mean, it's done. Like, the story's over.
Yeah, just don't make another one.
I'm going to kick your ass if you try and stop.
If you did, I will personally buy every single copy and make you look at the burning them all.
Good luck. Okay, look, anyway.
Don't.
It's basically...
It's also, you got to get the right audience as well, and I think that alone is an issue, because you've got to get that right audience that you appeal to, but you're not trying to specific to one person, if that makes sense. Because if you specific to, like, say, you make gaming novels, but then it really is only valid for people who do gaming. I know that's a big
Hmm.
audience, but it's like it doesn't really appeal to anybody else. And I think that there is the issue. You see what I mean?
I mean, no, sorry, I'm going over the story and like I may have over dramatized it a bit, but these are real events that actually happened back in my freshman year of high school.
He was touched.
In the heart, yeah. I mean,
I need to go to the toilet, so guys, we're gonna have a quick intermission for about 2 minutes so I can go to the toilet. We'll be right back.
better fucking stop it.
good. Right, guys, we're gonna end the podcast here. I hope you liked. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification bell, and we will see you in episode 3. Thomas?
I bid you adieu.
Peace out, bitches!